Hi everyone, and welcome to the final day of the July colouring challenge. We are on day 31 and we eventually caught up, which is fantastic. So I will be releasing this on the 31st, which is great. So I thought we'd do something a little bit special today. We have our final image, which is this cute little pelican, and I thought we'd use my most special and prized coloured pencils, which are Charisma colour pencils. These are those OG Prismas that I always call them, that I've talked about a couple of times, and these are my little sort of spares. I've not cracked the big full set out, purely because these were just quicker to grab hold of, to be honest, and I've got quite a lot of colours in here, so I know I'll be fine. But yeah, I absolutely adore these pencils. They are, in my mind, the best coloured pencils to have ever existed, and unfortunately they were discontinued in 2005, so they are very, very hard to find and very, very expensive when you do find them. So yeah, I adore using these pencils. I don't use my main set very often because I do really just want to keep them as pristine as possible, but because I have a few singles and extras, I can afford to use these from time to time just to get the nice feel of them and everything. So yeah, so we've got a pelican. Now standard pelicans have a orangey yellowish beak or bill, and I think they have a little bit of grey on their wing, but the rest of them is just white. So I think we've got a fairly easy job to do for the last day today, really. So I'm just going to pick out a couple of colours. I've got the canary yellow, I have the Spanish orange, which is quite light really. I could do something a bit darker. Let's see. That's an orange and that's just too dark. A little shuffly around. I think the Spanish orange is going to have to do. What's this one? Yeah, that's like orange that I just pulled out. Maybe if I use the orange very, very lightly, you can get away with that. So I've got orange, Spanish orange and canary yellow, and if you are familiar with Prismacolor pencils, you will know that these are all pencil colours that exist in the current Prismacolor set. So if you have those, you'll be able to match the colours exactly. All right, so let's get started then. Yeah, so I'm going to take the orange and just concentrate on the bottom part of this bill first of all, and just do a little bit of a sweeping curve all the way down, hoping that we're all nice and zoomed in. So I'm using this orange very, very lightly because it is quite a bright, deep colour, and I don't want to overtake the yellowness of the bill with the orange, if that makes sense. So with the Spanish orange, I'm going to go over that orange that we just put down, which will hopefully just desaturate it a little bit, and just colour in basically the exact same area. And then with the canary yellow, we can just fill that in and go over the orange as well at the same time. Again, just to push the vibrancy of the colour back. But we still do end up with a nice little gradient on his bill. I'd probably afford to bring a little bit more Spanish orange in the transition area between the yellow and the orange, just to make that blend a little bit smoother. That's quite nice. That's pretty much exactly as I wanted it to look. I think that is the sort of cut off point for the beak, but I'm just sort of making this up as I go along. If I remember rightly, it's sort of the beak sort of comes in a little bit underneath the eye. Maybe I should just put that in so it looks a little bit more rounded underneath the eye there. And again, just flatten it over with that Spanish orange. What do you reckon? Does that look something like? Hopefully it does. And I'll keep those out just in case I need to do any touch-ups, but I would do want a grey now, probably a warm grey. Oh, there we go, 10% warm grey, that's handy. and this cool grey. Not sure if I have anything darker than that. It's this one. That's another cool grey. I think we might be okay with this one though, to be fair, because it's only a very light shading that I want to achieve, because he is basically white. We might need a bit of a darker grey for that little bit of depth on the wing. So maybe I'll be able to dig something out that could do the job for us. We've got a black that could help. But I think all the other greys that I've got here are all cool. Yeah, I think they're all cool. What's this one? This is a 10% as well. I've got a couple of those. So maybe if we put just a little bit of black, like a very light pressure bit of black on these wings, we'll be able to blend them out with this lighter grey, and then they'll just look a little bit darker than the grey, but not actually black. So that's what I'm trying to achieve. And I'll keep these little wing pattern strokes going up so that we have like a separation of the feathers. And then, like I say, with this cool grey, warm grey 10%, again, the exact same colours that you find in today's Prismas. I'm going to go over that. Just to blend them out a little bit. Could probably do with a white as well. I'm not sure whether I've got a white in here. I know that I've got a Charisma colour white in my Prisma set, but it's no good to me over there, is it? Let me grab a different white. Right. I've got a polychromos white here, which isn't ideal, but hopefully it'll be okay just to blend these little areas out to white a little bit better. So again, just trying to keep the little feather lines intact, and it doesn't matter at all that it is looking a little bit textured, because that's fab. We need that texture for it to look a bit more like feathery wings. Hopefully it does. Okay, so I just want to add a bit more shading with this 10% warm grey to areas such as underneath the bill at the front, and then just tapering off to nothing down there, but thicker at the top, just underneath this neck area. And I think I've just a little bit around the bill here as well. We might actually benefit from a bit on the bill, but then it's a bit too light really to do any shading over such a bright colour, so I'll leave that. Where else would I like a little bit of grey, maybe across the bill here, and maybe a little bit around the head, just on this side. I think we can afford to have a little bit down the back as well, and maybe just some strokes there to show some tail feathers. I don't really know the anatomy of the pelican, to be honest. And I think maybe just a little bit under here where this wing is overlapping. And again, I'm just going to use this polychromos white to blend it a little bit as best I can really. Obviously it's not a wax white, so it's not going to do as smushy of a job, but in this kind of small area I think it will do the job that we need. And again, these changes might be too subtle for the camera to even pick up. I won't know until I look at it after, if I do look at it. Quite a lot of times, in fact I would say 99 times out of 100, unless I have to do an edit, I do not watch my videos back. It's the cringiest thing, so I don't really know what you guys are going to see. Hopefully it'll look all right. I do generally just skim them quick just to make sure that there's been no oddities like the audio busting and things like that. But okay, so that's my sweet little pelican. Now then, we've got some water to colour, so let's have a look at the charismas again and see what we can do. So we also have sky, so it's pretty much like every other water sky type of image that we've done in this project, which is that we need to try and find a bit of a difference in colour between the water and the sky. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get some blues out and some greeny blues and see what we come up with. So I'll just pick out the ones that I can see. That looks like a peacock green, I think. This one, aquamarine, that might be a good one. I think that's it, yeah. Okay, so let's see what I've picked out. So let's go for something really bright and beautiful for the sky. So what I'm looking at here are these two colours. This is light blue and true blue. Now, light blue, I'm just wondering what the counterpart to that is in Prismacolor, number 904. I'm just going to look that up because I'm sure it is a different name, and I should know really. Prismacolor 904 is light cerulean blue. Yeah, it looks like that. Now that I look at it, it looks like light cerulean blue. So light cerulean blue and true blue. I think that'll do for our sea. Sorry, for the sky. And then for the sea, we are going for obviously a bluey green. I have Deco Aqua and Aquamarine. I'm not sure whether I have a full Deco Aqua or whether this is the only one. There's a couple of these where I've got the shorter versions of them, but not the full length, and I'm really trying hard to get a full set, or as near as damn it, with the full lengths. So yeah, just a bit of trivia there, charisma trivia. So for the sky, we have the true blue. So let's just pop him a nice bright blue sky in there. God, I love these pencils. If I only had one thing to colour with for the rest of my life and I had an unlimited supply, it would be these charismas. Then we have the light cerulean, which, you know, it's not too far of a shade away from this true blue. So it might be that I want to come in with a bit of white to burnish and brighten the bottom half of this, so that we do have a bit more of a discrepancy between the colours. I think at the moment they are going to blend a bit too well together and we're not going to have that tonal difference. So keep going on to the little pelican. So I'm just going to fill that in, burnish blend it with a hard pressure until we get to the line of where our next colour goes. Then we can sort of blend that up into the true blue, and then fill the rest in. So it's not as blended and undifferentiated as I thought it was going to be. I can actually see the shift in tone from top to bottom, which is good. Just adding a little bit more of this true blue to the top while we've still got a bit of room to play with the blend. And then I think what I'll do is grab that white again, and from the bottom just come up with the white to around about there. And hopefully that's sort of lightened it a little bit more, made that difference a bit more obvious. Same on this side. Got such tiny areas to work with, it's so hard to properly demonstrate what it is that I'm trying to achieve, but think we've learned a lot from this project, or at least I definitely have. I've learned that whilst I have enjoyed doing the little different images every day and having something different to colour, these are really quite small, and I would prefer to do something a little bit more adult rather than cartoony and childlike. Whilst this has been loads of fun, I think I just feel like it's a little bit, how do I describe it? It's not really showing you enough technique and skill, maybe. At least that's what I'm worried about anyway. So yeah, so next time we need to think of what we need to do for our next challenge. A lot of you liked the 16 Joanna Basford colourings that we did over 16 days, in which I used a random generator wheel to pick the coloured pencils that we'd be using, the colours. So something like that maybe. So I've got this aquamarine colour, and I'm just going to colour the very top of each wave. And then fill the rest in with the light aqua, which was, oh sorry, the Deco Aqua, which I don't think does exist in Prismas now. I don't think it is anything else either. So this is a really nice colour. It's like light aqua, but I'm pretty sure it's lighter, lighter than light aqua. I don't know why they did away with the Deco colours, because they're beautiful. The Deco Orange and the Deco Blue is wonderful. It's like a lighter version of the non-photo blue, the Deco Blue, and it's a colour that is really missing, I think. Just going to pull the aquamarine down into the wave a little bit further, but using a light pressure as we go down to keep it nice and light. I don't want to completely overtake the Deco Aqua area. Okay, I'm thinking that we're pretty much done. Shall I add the little birds in there that we've been adding on most of our skies? I think I will. Let's do a couple of little birds in the background, maybe a couple of pelicans coming down to meet their friend. So what do we think? That is the final piece of thumbnail artwork for the whole of the project. Let's have a look. Let's have a look back on the weeks that we've done, the days that we've done, sorry, so far. So we started off with this Ariel mermaid on day one. Really like that still, really nice blends, and obviously we had a bit more of an area to work with, so it turned out a bit better. Really like the sandcastle as well. I like the colour gradients on it and the bit of texture that we were able to achieve. We've got the fairy tale book, which is just average really. It doesn't stick out to me as one of the best. I'd love to know actually which one is your favourite from all of the July ones that we've done, so let me know in the comments. We had Disastrous Day 4, where the water and the paint just went everywhere and lines and ink went everywhere, and then it all sort of wibbled and wobbled and congregated in certain areas. So we will totally discount day 4, but it did give us a bit of a learning opportunity about what we can and can't do with this paper. We then had day 5, which was the spotty stripy bikini with a sort of flame fire background, which is really nice. I love the contrast with the blue and white. Then we had another mermaid, which I did in the colours of Flounder, which is Ariel's little fish friend. Again, really like how that turned out. Day 7 was the aloe vera bottle, very much like day 3, quite an average day, doesn't stick out to me as one of the best. We've got this little guy on day 8, which he's really cute actually, and I really like how he created the subtle blush on his cheeks. Day 9 is one that really sticks out, this flamingo. I think it's the colours and I guess the rubbery effect that we were able to create with the white highlights. And I really love that green background colour. That's like my favourite colour, that parrot kind of green. Day 10 was wonderful as well. I really like the background that we created on this. So I can't really remember what I was trying to achieve here, but it gives a really stormy kind of interesting vibe, so I like it. Day 11 also turned out really well. We had a little bit of gold paint for details, and my favourite thing about this is the rivets, and I think it really made a difference when we added those little white gel pen dots to the rivets. Yeah, I really like that one. I like that we were also able to create a bit of a wood grain texture to this, even though we have a really small area to work with and it's not easy. Okay, next up we have got the pirate map. Again, not one that I'm really, you know, massively proud of. I think I used a bit too much of the dark colour, but looking at it now, when, you know, a lot of days have passed, it's not as bad as I thought it was. Day 13 is one of my favourites because we tried to do a semi-realistic hot dog look, and I think we achieved it. I really like the background on this. It's very Five Guys, very American diner, and yeah, I like it. Day 14 sticks out to me, maybe, well, definitely one of the top 3 on the whole page that sticks out to me. I don't know whether it's the neon colours or whether it's that lovely sort of gradient sunset with the blue and how it really pops and contrasts, but I really like day 14. Day 15 is the seashell, and I'm actually quite proud of how much sort of seashell texture that I managed to create on such a small area. So I really like that one. It is subtle and it's delicate, but I think it's effective. Day 16, I think these were the Arteza pencils, were they? I don't like the texture on this. I don't like how they worked with the paper because they didn't really, and it's not one of my favourites. Day 17 was the life ring. Really like this one. I like the very simple wave effect that we did on the background, and I like how 3-dimensional the ring itself looks. Day 18 was where I tried to colour this as sand and then changed my mind halfway through and made it into sea, and I like the fact that we managed to create a little bit of a stormy look to this one. I think it really works with the way the flag looks like it's blowing, and yeah, I like it. Day 19 is really fresh and crisp and summery looking, and I really like that one. Day 20 is our little spotty octopus. Still not sure whether I should have put spots on him or whether he looks like he's got the measles, but he's a happy little fellow anyway. Day 21, again, you know, I quite like how we managed to get a bit of dimension on the highlights and shadow areas of the wheel, but it doesn't stick out to me, unfortunately. Day 22 was a good one. Really like the iridescence of this shell. I just like the colours and how they're put together and how they've smushed together, and the fact that we just did a black background for that, I think really makes that pop. Day 23 was the Inktense day, and it's the wine bottle one, isn't it? The wine glass one. And I think we actually used a completely wrong product on that. I think I was thinking I was using water and I wasn't. It was actually that bleach solution. So yeah, despite all that, I think it turned out all right. Not one of my favourites. Day 24 was the rainbow swimsuit. I really like this one. It's very pretty and nothing special, but I like it. Day 25 is a really good one. This was our cookie dough bucket, wasn't it? And I love how the brushed metal of the bucket has turned out. Even though I think we had a little bit of random choices on the greys, it still worked. And I think it was fun to make that cookie dough instead of sand. I think that was a nice little unique twist on that. Then we have the fairy, which I'm not very proud of at all. Again, I used that product that made the lines bleach, and yeah, I just want to forget about that one. And then we had day 27 with the little unicorn horse. Again, could have been better, could have been worse. Not one of my favourites. This one is one of those top 3 that sticks out to me off the whole page, and I think it purely is that contrasting colour. You've got the blue and the orange, which are total opposites and really work with each other to make each other pop. And I really like the gradient from the blue to the chartreuse green. So yeah, love that one. Then we had the HMS July ring, which again I really like. I think we did this with the Albrecht Dürer watercolour pencils from Faber-Castell, and I do like the wishy, watery, washy kind of look that it's got to it, like a faded sort of life ring. I do like that, and the colours are quite muted and desaturated, so you know, I like that it's tonally it's different. Then we had yesterday, day 30, which again is just one of those from the project that I'm not really bothered about. Obviously we use pastel pencils, so it's not going to pop as much, but I just don't think it's all that great, to be honest. And then finally we have today's little pelican, and yeah, I like it. It's cute. I like how we've got the orange and the blue contrasting on there, and it's just very simple, this one. There's not too much going on. So that is it. I really hope that you've enjoyed every single day that we have done in this project. I'm going to zoom you out, and I just want to say a massive thanks for watching the videos. There are some certain few of you that have watched every single video, and you've been commenting in support and letting me know what you liked about it, and yeah, that's really kept me going, to be honest, especially through that little period through the middle of July where I got so behind because of the heat. You were all really understanding, and I'm really grateful for you all. Not going to get too mushy because I feel like this is going really deep now and it shouldn't be, but I am really, really grateful for every single person who watches my videos and every single person who takes the time to reach out and comment. So yeah, let me know what you think we should do next. I do have that Rita Berman page that I was colouring, which I think I already showed you. And I have filmed this bit already. I just need to film probably the leaves, and then that'll be part 1 filmed. But it just seems to be one of those projects. I don't know if it's ADHD brain or what, but I've started it, and I was really eager to sort of get it done and out there. And then as soon as I've started it, I've lost interest and moved on to something else. So it's one of those unfinished projects, but hopefully I will soon. So yeah, if there's anything else you'd like to see from the channel, leave me a comment anytime. Get in touch with me. If there's a specific technique that you want to learn, I can try and do my best to help you learn it if I can do it. And I'm here for you, basically. So do reach out to me, keep in touch, and thank you very much again for watching me throughout this challenge. I will see you very soon on Colour with Claire.